Hi, my name is Mina Park. With my husband Kwang, we are the co-owners of Baru Restaurant and Shiku Restaurant in Los Angeles. This is Cook With Us for Well+Good. Today we'll be making daikon radish pancakes. In Korean, we call daikon radish mu, so the Korean name for this dish is mu jeon. Jeon is the word for pancakes. Here we have our main ingredient, daikon. Daikon is very healthy. It has so many vitamins and minerals. It's really high in calcium actually, and also potassium and folate. So folate is really great for women who are pregnant. And so this is a food that's really considered a very nutritious superfood in Asia. So I'm just peeling part of this daikon. This is about 500 grams. And then this dish is actually very easy to make. So for the pancake batter, the first thing we'll do is grate the radish. So just in the large holes of a box grater, just grate this entire piece of radish, which will take a little bit of time, but this is the hardest part of the whole dish. This radish is slightly sweet, has a little bit of spiciness that radishes typically have, but actually grated, it makes a great base for a pancake batter. So with this radish, you only need a little bit of flour, a little bit of starch to bind it, but it really is mostly radish. So for pancakes, this is a pretty healthy dish. So we've grated the whole radish now, and as you can see, there's some water pooling at the bottom. We're gonna use that liquid as the liquid in the pancake batter, and we're not actually going to add any other water to this dish. So I'm just chopping up some green onions right now. So we'll mince 1 clove of garlic. This is a nice big clove. All Korean food has garlic in it. Okay, so here we've chopped up our vegetables. I'm adding about ½ cup of flour. If you want to go gluten-free, you can use buckwheat flour. And then I am adding potato starch, which helps make the pancake a little bit crispier. Nice toasted sesame oil. We use about 1 tablespoon, and this will just add a really nice nutty flavor to the batter. Some toasted sesame seeds here. I use a lot because I like the sesame seeds. And then black pepper and white pepper. I actually like to toast my peppercorns before I grind them. It adds kind of an extra layer of flavor. So we have this, and then we'll add 2 eggs. And that's really it. That's the whole batter. And then we just mix it up. Now, the water content of radishes can differ based on the type of radish, but also kind of the environment in which it was grown. So some radishes may have quite a lot of water, and if you find that your batter is actually too watery, just add a little bit more flour. The converse of that is if it's a little bit too thick and not watery enough, of course, just add a little bit of water at a time until you get a nice little consistency. This actually is working out pretty well. So not that much starch, mostly vegetables. And we're just gonna heat up some oil in the pan. You really want a decent amount of oil in the pan. I'm just using a very neutral vegetable oil. I wouldn't use something like coconut oil because the flavor wouldn't quite match. So this is the consistency you'd like for your batter. You can see it's quite wet, but not too wet. So when the pan is ready, oh, great. Just make a tiny pancake so we can test it, and then adjust the seasoning as necessary. So you're looking for the underside of the pancake to be golden brown before you flip it. And then once it's golden brown on the other side, I like to cook it on both sides one more time just so it gets crispier. Okay, so this is just for tasting. I might just add a little bit of salt. And then, so the last thing you want to do is cook up all your pancakes and realize they're not seasoned properly. So test pancake is always key. And then here I'm just going to make 1 large pancake. You don't want the pancake to be too thick or it's difficult to cook pretty evenly. You can cover the bottom of the pan, or of course you can make smaller pancakes. I make smaller pancakes for my son. So make sure that the heat is not too high, because what you don't want is for the pancake to burn before it's actually cooking through properly. So I have it about medium-high heat. At the same time, if the oil is not hot enough, then the pancake absorbs a lot of oil and becomes greasier. So temperature control is pretty important when it comes to frying things in oil. And then when you're cooking with the pancake batter, make sure to keep mixing it. So mix it, give it a good stir before you add it to the pan, because the water and the liquid will separate. And you want to make sure everything is well incorporated. If you are waiting a little bit before you're frying up the pancake, you may find that the radish gets more watery and more watery. And so actually after a while, you may need to add a little bit more starch or flour. Okay, usually it's better to let it cook for like 30 seconds on the second side before you start tamping it down. But you just want to pat it lightly so it's cooking evenly. So I usually serve this with a dipping sauce. The dipping sauce has soy sauce and rice wine vinegar, diluted with just a little bit of water, and then you can add sesame seeds or green onions, even chili powder if you want it to be a little bit spicy, and that's kind of the classic Korean dipping sauce. And if you are going to use a dipping sauce, then you have to balance the seasoning of the pancake. So you don't need as much salt in the pancake. So actually grating vegetables is a great way to add more nutrition to pancakes. So I make vegetable pancakes like this for my son all the time. You can grate carrots or sweet potatoes or, basically any kind of nutrient-dense root vegetable. You may need to add a little bit of water because they may not be as watery as the radish, but this type of pancake is really easy to make for children. Okay, so now we have our finished pancake, and make sure to eat it right away. Like all fried foods, it's best served immediately. So I'm gonna take a little bite here. It's nice and crispy on the edges. You get that really nice, hearty daikon feeling in the middle. Usually when we have pancakes, they don't even make it to the plate. So thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy this recipe. You can find the recipe plus the recipe for the dipping sauce in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe for Well+Good. Enjoy.